Doing the dealership of HCL in North Kerala with offices at Calicut and Kannur. It was at that time we lost my father, so I have two younger sisters, they were employed elsewhere, and my mother was alone. So I had to make a decision whether to continue with the running business of HCL Computers, selling computers, or to carry on with the management of the farm, the traditional rice farm. And it cannot be done, both of them cannot be done together, because my friends in Calicut, the well-wishers, said, why don't you you have your mother with you, you can run the business as well as we can buy some land or farm here in Calicut or why not and continue with your farming. What they meant was that you can, as a commercial proposition, you can sell up your land and come and have live with your mother and continue the business. But having born and brought up in that area for so many years of my life, and having seen my father and the family struggling with this thing, changing times and all, but not moving away from the strength of the farm and all. And I was interested, I loved farming, that life also. So I made a conscious decision and I wound up the running business. It took me 1 year to meet all the customers and tell them, see, I'm going back to my home to do farming, rice farming. So, but the scene, as Dr. Hedlal sir was also saying, see, it was past 1991. So the background of, the farming in Kerala as such was very bad from the 60s of the Land Utilization Act, fragmenting the land holding. So in the first generation had maybe 5-6 acres of land as far as paddy is concerned. Second generation did have only 2 acres if they have 2 children. And the third generation had only 50 cents or 1 acre of land, which was not at all enough to carry on the livelihood of the family. At the same time, the people who were employed there, they were also not finding job 365 days, so they had also started to move out from end of 60s, And the Gulf move was there from 71, the Gulf dollar was there, or the petrodollar, whatever it is. So but past this, so farming as such in Kerala was in a very bad farming as an occupation, same, and the rice farming, cultivation of rice, depending on the income of the rice, revenue from the rice fields or rice cultivation was again, another disadvantage, because no government is allowed to, though the cost of production has been going up, the input costs have been going up, the cost of labor, everything else was going up, the cost of the produce for the farmer, that is the rice, was not allowed to go up beyond a certain amount by the governments, So in 1991, the opening up of the economy was there, and anything, including all the agricultural products, were available at our doorstep, even in Kerala. At a very competitive price. For example, coconut farmers were finding it very difficult. We had palm oil at 30 rupees a kg at that time. So people, even not only from rice, other fields also were moving away from farming in Kerala at that time. It was at that time that I decided, okay, I will continue with the traditional family farm, that to rice. And to give a message, it was in the ration card, it was business as my occupation. I said, I'm changing to be a farmer. So that was changed. To give a message, because at that time, my generation had been away from farming, not only away from farming, they were not in our state itself, they have gone out of state because of employment opportunities. Then I started, but then I knew this was the background, so it was not going to be a smooth ride. And my father never asked me to continue with the farming, take up the management of the farming. So having made the decision, I made a plan. I made a plan to have value addition so not to leave the strength of the farm and the area also, Palakkad also. That is rice cultivation. So focus on rice cultivation, but value add in the process as well as in the product. So in the process, we thought about value adding by certifying as organic, without using any chemical fertilizers or pesticides, so that no soil or the water is not polluted. And the other one was that the brighter side of the WTO agreement, strips and all, there was this intellectual property right called geographical indication registration, which was from 1995 it was there. But India had the law in 2003, September 15. And on 9th of October 2004, we had the first meeting in our farm with a group of farmers, rice farmers, that was convened by CA, Confederation of Indian Industries, Kerala chapter, with Agriculture University, scientists from Patambi Rice Research Station and the Agriculture Department, as well as millers of major brands of rice from Kerala. So that there was there was a discussion for more than an hour and a half, And it was concluded that yes, these products, especially the rice of Kerala, traditional rice of Kerala, Navara, as well as the indigenous rice of Palakkad varieties, Palakkad Matta varieties, could be registered as geographical indication registration. So we took up Navara as a model. So why a model? Because Navara, see, it has a history of more than 2000 years of cultivation. This is mentioned in the Ayurveda scriptures like Sutta Samhita and all as Shashtika rice, which means the rice that matures in 60 days. This is the shortest duration of rices. And this is the only rice, still medicinal rice. It's a medicinal rice used in Kerala's Ayurveda for treatment of arthritis, paralysis, polio, and muscular dystrophy and all, even now effectively. So that is the only rice. We have been invited for many other meetings, conferences, workshops and all, and we have never found any other medicinal rice still in cultivation and use in Kerala or India and outside India. So this is a rice, very unique rice, medicinal rice, which has a history of more than 2000 years documented, as well as it's a nutritional rice. We have seen in people from Kerala taking this rice during the monsoons, that is a Karkada, that period of the monsoon where we have the 30 days of heavy rains, continuous rains, where the body defenses are weak and we are prone to diseases. At that time, we have seen that, we include Navara at least once in a day in our diet. Now we understand when looking back that maybe it might have been added or put in the diet to improve our immunity, which post-pandemic also the use of Navara, we have seen customers, more and more customers going for, asking for this rice, who has been using this for more quantities also. So we thought, okay, but at the same time, due to so many reasons, starting from 1960s, the cultivation of this rice, which was about 2,000 acres all over Kerala, in 9 districts of Kerala traditionally cultivated Navara. Around 2,000 acres were cultivated starting in the 60s, but when we started to take this as a project, as a model, in the late 90s, 1999, it was only less than 50 acres all over these areas. So we thought, okay, we'll focus on that, then start reviving this traditional variety of rice. Then we had to have, our farm also used to cultivate Navara, but we were not having seeds at that time. So we had to go out, meet farmers, other farmers, to try for seeds, but it was not available. We approached Patambi University, there it was not there with them. So then we went again to MSSRF at Calcutta, and with their help we met some farmers. They had some quantity of seed which was mixed, because they had holdings were small, so they had one plot of land where rice was cultivated. They had cultivated the normal rice, and in one part of the same plot they cultivated this Navara. So the mingling or mixing of seeds was there. But then we thought we had no other way, so we collected that seed and we started purifying the seed in our farm. It took us more than 2.5 years to purify the seed. We started the process in end of 1999, and we were able to do that by around 2003. And for this, we were conferred the plant genome savior recognition by Government of India. So seed purification was done, but then we have to have this as a model. We want to commercialize this, so we have to have not as just a scientific, lab test or a field test. We wanted to have it a commercially viable production for a group of farmers to follow this. So we started to increase the area, and it took us another 2 to 3 years to increase the area. We started with 15 cents of our land. We had to keep the other land, paddy area of 8 acres to fallow, so that no seeds were contamination, mingling was there. And after 2.5 years, we had a quantity for the 8 acres of a rice field, pure Navara seeds. So there were, side by side, we have started the process in 2003. We started the process of certification as organic farm. Again, the Government of India came with the NPOP, National Program on Organic Production, in 2001, and we were one of the first farms to start the organic certification process of rice in India. So we started the process in 2003, and by 2007, the entire farm, we are around 72 products in our farm, including the specialty rices like Navara and Palakkad Matta. We grow coconuts, we have medicinal trees and plants, we have spices like tamarind and cinnamon, we have vegetables, we have medicinal trees and plants. And the entire farm is certified organic for India, USDA and European Union from 2007 onwards. Simultaneously, we were addressing the intellectual property right protection because those were the times, 90s, late 90s were the times when Kerala's and India's ginger and turmeric was taken out of the country. Value-added products were made out of it. For example, from ginger or turmeric, neem. From neem, it was, the anti-mosquito repellents were made outside India in the Europe, and they were patenting those products and marketing. So to protect these traditional varieties of seeds and plants, especially Navara and Palakkad Matta, we initiated the process of registering this as a GI under the guidance, and we were helped in this by CII Kerala chapter. And we had to empower the farmers. We have the Navara Rice Farmers Society formed, and the Palakkad Matta Farmer Producer Company, which is the first farmer producer company in Kerala, formed in 2005. And we applied for registration for GI with the GI registry. It took us 3 years. We started the process in 2004, October 9th, and we received the certificate which we are displaying here in 2007 November. It took us more than 3 years. But when we received the certificate, this is the first, Navara and Palakkad Matta were the first, this is the first meeting in October 2004 where the Agriculture University, Pattambi scientists, their agriculture department representatives there, and the chairman at that time of CA, as well as the millers, prominent millers are there. Okay, so this was the first, when we got the registration, this was the first agriculture product in India to be registered under a farmer-led initiative, Navara and Palakkad Matta. So this is the certificate again which have released, this was released by Honorable Chief Minister at that time. So we didn't leave it at that. After receiving the certification in 2000, registration in 2007, we didn't. So then we took to the next level of value addition by having value-added products from the product. That is not, we were not willing to sell it as rice, as paddy. Because, see, why we went for GI registration was two reasons. One was to empower the farmers. Because Navara and Palakkad Matta had a premium at that time itself when we started the process during this 2004 and all, up to that time. People were, because there was a demand, people were asking for Navara and Palakkad Matta, and there was a premium. Normal price of the normal rice at that time was 6 rupees a kg, whereas Palakkad Matta was selling at 8 rupees a kg. So this 2 rupees premium was given by the customer for this Palakkad Matta, but that premium was not going to the original producer or the farmer. It went to the packer or the manufacturer or the trader. So at least have a percentage of this 2 rupees or whatever margin or the premium is there paid by the consumer. We thought we will share, have a small share. For that, we started to value add into rice flakes and rice powder. And the other part, the consumer is also protected, empowered in the sense that the consumer was giving the premium for Navara or Palakkad Matta, believing that it was authentic product that they were getting, but it was not the authentic product. It was passed off as Navara or Palakkad Matta because even now also, Kerala is not at all sufficient in rice. We produce only 12 to 15% of the required rice in Kerala even now. So whatever was sold as Palakkad Matta at that time was rice which was procured from outside the state and branded and sold as Palakkad Matta. So the consumer, end user was also not getting the authentic product by paying the premium. So to ensure that both sides, the producer as well as the consumer is empowered, we had this registration, and that is why we thought, okay, we will value add into the products and address the market directly. Slowly, in 2008, we had our own brand and we started to sell this because we didn't have any huge amount for publicity or advertisement. So what we did was, wherever we get an opportunity like this, a meeting, a conference, a workshop, and in some trade fairs also, we went to that and we were invited to make presentations. So we had the entire range of products. We tried, we familiarized the people who were participating in that with the products, the benefits, the qualities, and the work, and the farmer groups' activities and all. And slowly we could get orders. That is how we got orders. And by 2016, after 8 years, we launched the brand in 2008. By 2016, the society members who was producing Navara was able to market that, sell that at a reasonably good price. So from 2016 onwards, we have been replicating this in the Palakkad Matta by the Palakkad Matta Farmer Producer Company for the last 6-7 years. But then there are other challenges. The background was what you call the fragmented land and the holdings and all that, economically unviable holding and all, and the policies, international policies and all. Subsequently, also in 2008, we got inquiries for export for Navara. We were about to process that, but at that time, unfortunately, the government of India came with a export ban on non-basmati rice. Because at that time, India was having only rice for our own consumption. Production was good enough only for our own production. So the trade balance would affect. So the export of non-basmati rice was banned. But we represented saying that these are geographical indication registered products, Navara and Palakkad Matta, and this is taken as food only by Keralites outside Kerala. And the same arm, the Ministry of Commerce, Government of India has given us the GI registration, but the same arm is saying that you cannot export this. We said this is organic also. Then after 2 years, the government lifted the ban with a ceiling of 10,000 tons of non-basmati rice. But by that time, the confidence that, we couldn't supply. So the confidence that the customers would have, we couldn't supply regularly, so that way. And even now we are getting orders, inquiries for sale for export, but we have not gone into that. And again, GST was another hassle. Online sales was, there were problems on online sales because of policies. We are a very small group of farmers sitting at the southernmost part of India, and doing farming itself, especially rice and organic and all itself, is a huge challenge. Of late, with the climate change, the heavy rains, the drought, and the attacks by protected species like peacocks and wild boar, which we cannot do anything. So these are all parallel challenges. We never anticipated all these challenges, but these things are happening. Still, we are trying to continue with that good work. And models have come up showing. Knowing this and with our participation in exhibitions and all, by creating awareness. We conduct programs also. One slide we saw was Navara Ulsa, which we conducted in the college, nearby college, Chittu College, where Professor M.S. was the chief guest, and Secretary Sri P.H. Kurian sir and Madam Edna Sundara sir, Production of Plant Varieties, Farmers Rice Authority chairperson are all there. So wherever possible, with our limited funds and resources, we try to create awareness also. We have the website. So these are the ways that we are, continuing, but newer challenges, but and the replication in Palakkad Matta. So we would like to, so in this, at this point of time, we would like to, give some way ahead, some points on way ahead, because based on our experience, this is the constitution of a national GI board for different products and embodiment of, as we discussed, state level, district level. And another thing is that, we are coming to the awareness creation, we are doing it, and recommended monthly newsletters and conferences we conducted. Even during pandemic times, we did participate in webinars and all to disseminate the information. And we are encouraging people, other farmers also, to register as authorized users also. Some of the certificates are displayed here. Okay, proposed national GI will facilitate and improve avenues of marketing through GI-specific exhibitions. For like Government of India has been supporting from last, 2015 onwards. Government of India has been supporting in promotion of GI. So that has helped us also to create, awareness like this. The special covers was released of all GI products by Government of India, special day covers. And of course, enforcement of this GI is very important, and risks to their process also, and MSP for GI registered products, yes. Special, GI products should be bestowed with special privileges, because these have been our, the practical problems that you have seen is that the government policies, mainly, this export policy as well as the GST. And we had an experience, again, recently we had an inquiry to participate in an exhibition of this last Republic Day. By APIDA, through APIDA. So they wanted a certificate, this no pesticide residue. So we had the analysis, but then the time frame given is only 15 to 30 days. So once we have a test of a batch, that the validity of the test is only for 15 to 30 days. So a consignment takes more time, more than this 15 to 30 days to reach a destination, nearby destination. So this, and the financial, the cost is very high. They charge, for a sample, they charge 8,000 to 10,000, which farmer groups are not able to bear, So supporting these areas, and That is for tie-up with national laboratories, and financial assistance for enhancing production. Of course, organic ecosystem services. By adapting this method of cultivation, that is not using any chemical fertilizer or pesticides, we are contributing for ecosystem services like not polluted water and soil, as well as the ecology. Ecology and environment is protected to a certain extent, addressing the global warming situation also. And we had a study during this period. We had a study in our farm and the use of water. Initially, we used to have this is a summer crop. Actually, this is a seasonal crop. This can be cultivated only after the monsoons. So in the summer, we have to irrigate that. It's a 60 days crop. So earlier we had to irrigate 4 times a month. That is a week. Every week we had to irrigate. But after 2 or 3 years of not using the chemical fertilizers and pesticides, we found that we need irrigate only once. In 10 days. That is three times a month, which means that 25 to 30% of this major resource, water, is being saved by using this method of cultivation. Okay, so we would like to suggest parameters to help identify agricultural products for which the funding support is provided. Traditional items endemic to the region, GI registered in India. This will ensure that the encouragement is given to the products that are endemic and is unique to that region. Extra weightage may be given to certified organic products. Other support provided for GI registered crops or GI registration holders or registered authorized users of financial and technical support for building infrastructure, procurement, machines and products, reimbursement of cost of certification, tie-up with national laboratories, financial assistance for enhancing production and or increasing capacity and towards establishing supply chain. And even in the certification front also, we have faced challenges like certain agency trying to we don't know the reason, but they wanted to establish that we have used some chemical pesticides and all, which we have to fight, and then we have to prove it's not like that. So this is a short thing of this thing, and we are planning for part of creating awareness. We are planning a Navara Rice Museum, which will be a working museum, in the sense that cultivation will be going on, and we will have the audios, the videos, the history, the publications, scriptures and all about this rice, as well as people who are coming, who are interested to participate in the that time the practices of cultivation can also participate. That is the next plan that we have. Thank you for so much for
around 25 years back, when he was beginning the whole process, and I'm surprised to see that the same level of enthusiasm is maintained, and he has succeeded in his effort, because this is a national heritage. Navara is a heritage that we are all responsible for protecting, and he and a small team had done that for us, for all of us. This particular variety of rice is protected, and it is made a commercial proposition, and we have successfully done that, fighting with various kinds of government agencies, and also very efficiently using the system like GI, that is intellectual property right, which came after the WTO and all, and all those difficulties he and his team overcame by combined efforts. And what can I say?
No, this is all, as you rightly said, sir, this is a... As sir rightly said, this is a combined effort. So wherever we have a program like this, or we are invited for this, we say all of us are again now, in the Navara family. So the family is growing. Now we are again, we consider that you are also part of this Navara family.
It is done by a big company, one can understand, but this is a small group, committed group of cultivators going around and spreading this message. And that is the great thing about the whole story. Very rare to see such great achievements. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
So first of all, I would like to commend you because those many years ago you were ready to step out of your corporate job, out of your comfort zone, and step into the agricultural field to protect a tradition of ours. And my question is regarding party art. A few days back, before I came across an article in the newspaper which discussed about, I think it was a farmer in Palakkad district itself. he was promoting paddy art, which was widespread in China and Japan especially, and it's a very big tourism opportunity there. So with Navara, though it has these many medical and allied features, if we include some other very rare rice varieties which are only endogenous to our state, and if we promote paddy art in that form, can we at least generate interstate tourism opportunities, because there are presently no other state in India doing paddy art. So what's your take on that, sir?
Yeah, we are open to any area where we can generate more revenue for farmers. Thank you very much for the suggestion. I have also seen that. Yeah. Your good name?
Adul.
Okay.
So, as the population depending on agriculture, while analyzing it, only 27% of population in Kerala is rural population. The main revenue, their main revenue is from agriculture, compared to 61% of the national rural population. So, we could analyze an evident gap there. So, I would like to know, in an era of where people find agriculture and allied activities unattractive, and so what is your take on this? What message do you have for the future?
That I think I am not in a position to give any message, because it's your decision. See, your people, your student, or your young person who are, who can make your own decisions. There are models, or there are stories, or whatever it is you are learning. You can have from the book, you can learn from the books or the media or whatever it is, and from lives also, different people. So I won't say anything on that. But the economics, since you are being again economics, see, what even now, this thing is that our production of rice is only 12.5 to 15% of the required rice in Kerala, even now. But the farmers are not, so in any situation where the demand is huge, 85% is coming from outside, only 15% is here. So in any situation where the demand is huge, the supply is very, very, very comparatively very, very low, the price should automatically go up. It's not happening in this. So that is a surprise. That I don't know, maybe you should study. Why is it so? So bottom line is very important, and we cannot give any advice. It's all their take. As I told you, my father never asked me to continue with the profession. When looking back after my 10, 15 years after coming to this and working on this, I realized he must have, he never told me, because he might have anticipated, the future. When my sisters the other generation, my friends in my generation had moved away from the place itself, from the state itself for their livelihood, he might have seen that there is no future in this. And I am able to continue only because that holding is still there, the family holding, which my father, my father's brother, two of them had. I have two sisters, three of us. So even now it's the same holding, single holding. That is one of the reasons, and my sisters and all are not dependent on this. By that time, we lost our father, they were employed. The first sister was a doctor at that time, she was married, and the second sister was employed at the bank. So we were not, and I was running my business, so we were not dependent on the income of that. Oh, that was there. And my father never left a loan, single rupee loan. That is also huge.
Thank you for your presentation. Let me ask you one thing.
Yeah.
Is there any change in the attitude of the people towards agriculture? Are they coming positively towards it, or?
There was some 5, 6, 7, 8 years back.
Now, recently?
No. During the pandemic, yes, because there was no other way. No other work. People who were in other businesses also, they could not move out, no business was there. At that time, they ventured into, say, fish farming, and some raising some vegetables in their small places. But once that is over and now things are back to almost normal, the earlier normal, they have moved out.
What is the support you got from the local government? Is there any?
Local government, no, initially APC or earlier APC, Jayakumar sir was there in 2007. We were invited to make a presentation in the US on the organic farming side of it. So they couldn't support the travel. They stay, the stay and the local expenses they supported. Then at that time, Mr. Krishnas was the MP there, and through Mr. Krishnas, I was asked to approach Chief Minister Sri Achyutanandan sir. And subsequently, I was provided 50,000 immediate support for travel. That was done by, Sri K. Jayakumar sir was the APC at that time. So that was a support in 2007. Subsequently, NABARD gave support for the Society for Organic Farming. That was in 2010.
Is it registered under producer company or?
This is a society. Navara is a Navara Rice Farmers Society under the Societies Act. The other one is a farmer producer company. Again, there are other so many things. In 2020, of course, you must be knowing the government of India came with the one district, one product scheme. We never knew because it was the pandemic time. Then in 2020 or 21 or 20 only, we knew that. So we were thinking, okay, it will automatically come to us. As far as Palakkad is concerned, this is the two products, Navara and Palakkad Matta, and Palakkad is a rice bowl, and both of these products are GI registered. So we thought it will be identified. But unfortunately, we knew only last year that banana was identified as the product for this district of Palakkad. Now
There is one other area, one panchayat, one product.
that I don't know whether it has started to. I don't know whether has it. I know, but has it started the project?
Now they are.
Okay, maybe we can try that with that.
Yeah, definitely we need your support, the experiences you have in this area.
No, me and my.
Come to planning board also. Jiju sir is basically an agricultural.
Who?
Jiju sir he is in agriculture research.
Okay.
Research is in agriculture. Jiju
Who?
PNX
Okay, okay, I
Place
know.
of Maryland.
Okay.
Jiju sir.
From and we and our group are wherever.
Now we have given a thrust for local economic development. So agriculture is one area we are going to.
And we feel as farmers, we feel that farmers should be represented in the policy making bodies. We feel that among our discussions it has come. Because we are facing a lot of challenges. In the organic front also, we never expected they wanted to establish that we are using a certain chemical pesticide.
We will arrange one meeting with the planning board also.
Thank you so much. You are also welcome, madam, whenever you travel that side. It will be an encouragement for our group of farmers to meet you and share their experience.
Tribal areas also they lack agriculture. They have land with them, but still they are not nobody to handhold them.
Yeah, from our side, we can whatever we can do, we will definitely we can.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
As the policy makers gave their opinion to us students, initially we had very well-versed practitioners in the field like Harilal sir and Josephine ma'am sharing the academic perspective on the issues, how the decentralized structure, the institutional setup in India was a very big boon for us in implementing or meeting the sustainable development goals with respect to the other states. Then we go to know the practical experiences of a cultivator in Kerala, a person who was very enthusiastic, a person who was ready to step out of his comfort zone to protect a traditional variety of seed that would have been lost to time if he had not done what he did that time ago. So it was a perfect mix of practical experiences and what the academicians had to say. On behalf of the Department of Economics and on my own personal behalf, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to Harilal sir, Josephine ma'am and also Narayanan sir for making this session very enlightening. Thank you.